Hi guys, Tina Murray here, author of Design You. Today I'm talking about our Achilles heel. Now, Achilles heel, the term comes from an ancient Greek myth where the great heroic warrior Achilles, his mother was foretold when he was born that he would die an early death. And so trying to outdo this destiny, she chose to try and make her son impenetrable. Now there's two stories to this. One, she dipped him in the river Styx. Number two, that she dipped him in ambrosia. Doesn't matter which the story is. What she was doing was she dipped him in a substance which was meant to make him impenetrable. But when she did this, she was holding onto his heel. So that one part didn't touch the substance which was going to make him this big, strong, amazing man who wasn't going to die this early death. Now, of course, it's Greek myth, and we all know we can't outdo our destiny when it comes to Greek myth. So how did Achilles die? Through an arrow to that one part in his heel that had been covered by his mother's hand when she was trying to make him impenetrable. Now, we all have Achilles heels. Achilles was a big, strong warrior. And in our everyday life, most of us try to portray that. We have a mask that we put on. But most of us too have some point which is our vulnerability. And the thing with this vulnerable part is it's there no matter what. As much as we try to hide it, if something triggers that, it can send us off in a tangent, in a spin, spiraling out of control, because it's there as our weakness. Now, the beauty of designing you is understanding that we have strengths and that we have weaknesses. And some of our weaknesses are ones that we need to acknowledge. And by all means, we need to work on them and make us the best person that we can. But there comes a point where we also need to accept there's some part of what we do and who we are that is always going to be a part of us. Now, in my blog this week, I talk about my own Achilles heels, which comes down to relationships and stems from what happened to me when I was a kid. And that's by no means blaming my parents, because I take full responsibility for it. But what's happened is I understand that some of the memories, some of the associations that I have with particular behaviours, with particular things, maybe particular smells, take me straight back to when I was extremely vulnerable as a kid and I was seeing behaviours being displayed around me. And so no matter how much I try, inside, there are times when I feel like that little girl again. And that's when I feel really vulnerable. And it takes every effort that I have sometimes to not react, because my fight and flight stimulus, or my freeze, my need to freeze to protect myself, kicks in, because I'm looking to protect myself. The one thing that I can do, and I've got better at doing, is understanding what it is that triggers me, and also seeing what my reactions are, and knowing what it is and where I'm spiraling to. So ideally, and I don't always do it, I'm far from perfect on this one. Ideally, I can stop and I can actually take some time out to think, okay, is this reaction I'm having a valid one? Or is it an overreaction stemming back to some of this bullshit that I've still got in me from emotional responses as a kid? Now, the reason I've been able to get to this point where I can nearly always recognise, at least when it's happening, I may not be able to stop how I'm feeling, but I can recognise that I'm being triggered. The reason I can do this is because I've spent time getting to know myself, stepping out of myself and acknowledging when it is that I'm acting a certain way. And over many years, I've started to realise what my triggers are. Now, I walk along the beach daily. I meditate when I'm doing that. I take time out, I spend time with my friends, and my friends are the sort of people where we discuss a lot of things about how we feel and what it is we're seeing and how we react. And all of this has helped me to understand a little bit better who I am. Part of acknowledging our Achilles heels is exactly that, acknowledging what it is that we have in us which makes us vulnerable. Our strength comes when we can recognise it. We don't need to suppress it, but we do need to suppress our immediate reaction, which comes back to that flight or fight response. To do that, we need to take time out to get to know ourselves. So please make time to do that. Have a trusted friend, a counsellor, someone that you can talk to when things come up for you, and especially when you start to recognise that you may be overreacting because it's based on something that comes from a real primal part of you and comes back to an earlier memory of what something may or may not look like. I have more information and more ways to get through this on my blog this week, which is about the Achilles heel. So please have a look, jump onto my website, tinamurray.com, and jump onto the blog tab. Also, please follow me on Instagram where I have daily quotes which will relate to this for this week. Guys, have a great week. Please be kind on yourself and remember to design it, communicate it, and live it.